Hello everyone, if you can see this. I'm trying to fix something. Here we go. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk about as usual today. First things first. What I'm doing right now is actually updating everything in my in all of my homes in DecoTrack. The other day I noticed that some of the things in my house weren't reflecting where they actually were. So what you have to do is type /deco update, and then it'll go to all of your houses and it'll update it. Now what happens is generally if you remove or add anything from any house when you don't have DecoTrack enabled, it loses track of everything. So that's what had happened to me the other day. Crap, I lost my wrist guard. And that's why I was having problems. I will be right back. I need to grab my wrist guard. Okay, that's handled. Plus, I fed my cats. It's this thing they like to eat and stuff. So, while this is going on, I'm going to let the world, as Griff calls it, Taterverse, know that I exist and that I am on. So, hold on. Listen to Iron Maiden, baby with me. That's a funny song. I blame Hammy for playing songs that get stuck in my head. So yesterday, there was a contest, oddly enough, on 3D paintings, and apparently it had nothing to do with me doing 3D painting tutorial earlier in the day. Completely random, dumb luck. So there were a whole bunch of really good ones that I want to show you because it really, you know, carries the theme just a little further about how to do a good job on them. But we have other things to talk about too, and that's a DDA that was doing that. It was a flash contest over the weekend. I don't think the winners are announced until later today. Contests. So I've updated this. June 22nd, EU, Aetherius, My Corner, Spring Mood. June 25th, EU and NA, J Heart's No Melt Sweet contest, which I am going to do. I have an idea for, but I haven't started on yet. June 27th, DDA Restaurants, which I'm sort of dabbling working on. And June 30th, J Heart Furnishing Vendor Items Contest. I don't think I'm doing that one. I don't have any ideas for it. Now, if you want to see a constantly updated list of contests that I keep updated, here is the link to my Discord. Please join it. It's really just a convenient place for me to keep information and post things relevant. There are 2 new add-ons you should be aware of. As housing people, I'm just going to assume that antiquity hunting is within our purview, our interest. Where the 2 add-ons which you can get from Minion are called Display Leads and Lead Overview. Lead Overview, I think, just shows you what leads you currently have. Display Leads, I think, also gives you a due date by when you have to do them, because I think you have to do all leads within 30 days of getting the lead. Don't know why you'd take that long. So those are the 2 add-ons I believe you may want to add. If you're looking for a guide to display the leads offline, or just to learn how to do antiquity hunting better or at all, there's 2 guides posted in my Discord, pinned, so you should be able to find them. One is Saucy Jacks and one is, oh gosh, that other streamer's name. It slipped my mind, but both of those guides are up there. Really? Do you think the fox story is actually that interesting? Because I kind of thought it wasn't. Yesterday I got a really funny email from someone. I'm going to read it to you. I hope she's not embarrassed by me reading this to you, but this is from MJ Moon, who's one of our viewers. I hope that doesn't show. No, it doesn't. Okay. MJ Moon, to me, it is all your fault, in bold. I was going to pass by the new caged lights until I saw your stream this morning. Now I own 4 on my NA account and 1 on my EU account. They are so much poorer. I've installed one below the fountain in the temple room downstairs in the back of my Sijic villa, and another under the sand of my swimming hole in the grotto. Both look lovely. You're invited to come take a look. Just know that both homes are works in progress. As Ruby Mrs. just said, Stabity made me do it. I was doomed. That made me laugh a lot, so thank you. Thank you, MJ. That really cracked me up. Good to know I have some effect somewhere. I'm now posting new videos that are non-EHT videos. Both will be included on Discord, posted in the forums, and on Reddit. And it's doing okay on Reddit, actually. More people are obviously interested in non-EHT stuff. Discord, I have one channel for EHT training videos and one channel for regular training videos, so you'll be able to find whichever you want if you go to Discord. Also, my Discord gives an announcement when I've started streaming. Also, just come and bullshit with me, you know? If you're a streamer, let me know if you want me to add to the announcer. I have a stream announcement thing. I also have ideas of the day, where I post a clever idea that I've seen. And so all of that is business we needed to talk about. There's so much going on. So much. Don't forget, Crosea has all of her cobble stuff up on the forums. She hasn't had a chance to really update lately. Things are crazy. But she will. I know she will. I started to get things together for today's training class type dealy, and I did not finish. So I apologize. I apologize. Just in general, I apologize. Nobody's on, so I kind of want to... what's the word? I have 31 houses left to do. No, we're going to do deco cancel and move on. I do have a story to tell, but I'm going to wait until I know that we actually have more people on, because otherwise it's wasted. Let me find Twitch, make sure everything's going right. Listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. Nobody's watching yet. So sad. Crap, I forgot to hit deco cancel. And I went to a new house. Sadness. Come on. Alright. We need deco cancel. There we go. Update process has been abort. Abort! Abort! Okay. Let's go to our rando. Look at all these inaccessibles. Isn't that sad? People need to not do that. Lulu Sweetie Pie. Malton House, Autumn's Gate. Yes, I did announce. Jerk face. Hey, Dish! I've been doing a special. Oh, hey, Eula. I've been doing a special couple of episodes. After I do trainings, I show some of the houses of my favorite builders, and you're in the group of favorite builders. I've been doing you, Greek Vamp, Research Monkey, Danielder. I'm writing this down for the moment. Swanks, and Zendira. Those are the people I've been going to each one. Oh yeah, you're super talented. So this is Lulu Sweetie Pie. I'm glad you watched. You should know how good you are. That's by far, you know, there's a lot of people I really like. But I wanted to show what I think some of the best builders I know have done with things. So this is a traditional Nord, but if you notice, there's a dwarven antiquity right here. This is the dwarven cube. Look at that. Look at all the little clockworky things on it. So I'm guessing that this house, it's a shambles a little bit. I mean, who has the bed over here with a pot underneath it? Is probably getting a redo. So we'll just assume, and also this house doesn't normally have a second floor or a second room, so this was all built. So I'd be curious to come back and see this again when Lulu has finished redoing the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to, since I have to cut and edit anyway later on to make this work at all, I'm going to show you, in between going to all these different houses, I'm going to show you some of the dirt ideas. The first dirt idea that I want to talk about is in my Eleanor. I have examples of some that aren't my house, but for some reason I have not taken pictures. I've not taken pictures of some of the different options I've seen for dirt. So I might ask you guys about specific ones that I've seen, and if you have one that shows that, you can tell me. Otherwise, when we get to it, because there's a bunch of them that I do have, or I can just build them. But this is one of my newer houses. This is, older houses. This is my Eleanor, and I'm only here, not going to show you the whole house, I'm only here to show you one of the options for dirt. Okay, so you see this, right? What a lot of people do is, people do this, it's a normal first beginner's problem, is they just have the trees and the plants sticking out of the ground. One of the tricks for either faking dirt or making it look more natural is these duders. You can either use this red guard chair seating, or which makes a really lovely pot, or you could use, you know, some of the limestone circles from Eleanor, or you can use the elsewhere walls. You can do a whole lot of different things, and then you just stack them pretty full. Now, the other thing I've done in here is this is a kind of ivy. This is the clustered ivy from I believe this one is from Eleanor. So you can fill in the gaps of what looks funny and doesn't quite fill it out by going and getting these plants from the vendor, and these ivy plants, and they really do help poof it out. So that's a good option. All right. So that's just one of the many. We're gonna get to a bunch of them. So the next house that I was gonna show off. Listen to Ravenhursts. Okay. So we go to other homes. It should change to alphabetical. If it ever gets there, yeah. Okay, so we've got... Whoa, I have the wrong... There we go. Danny Elder. Danny Elder, you even have one? 30 weeks ago. Shoosh. Let's see. All right, I have a story to tell you. I'm not feeling it right now, but I'm going to tell it anyway because I'm getting griffed. He's bugging me to tell it. It's my funny story. All right, funny. Be kind. So last night, my husband was tinkering in the basement while I was upstairs, and I was feeding my cats, and I heard a sound because we had all our windows open. We wanted a nice breeze. It was kind of stifling in here, and I heard this wounded sounding animal coming from outside. It sounded like a duck or a goose or some kind of waterfowl, which is not really all that, this isn't done, not really all that unusual in my area because the sweet treats, because the guy across the street puts out a special kind of feed that seems to attract ducks. We get geese every year and ducks stopping at his bird feeder across the street. So this was not surprising. So I thought about it and I was like, you know, that animal sounds hurt. So I went and got my husband and brought him back upstairs. And I'm like, you just listen. And he heard it. And so it started to get a little further away. I'm like, do we go out there? Do we go figure, you know, do we check on this animal and see if it's okay? But we both kind of smartly went to the internet. And we went and we looked at the internet, and Andy found it first. And he played this sound for me, and it was definitely the sound. It was not a waterfowl. It was a red fox. And suddenly it all made sense because my neighbors, the new neighbors who just moved in, said that when they moved in, they found this huge den of red foxes. And so there's a den of red foxes, and we've been seeing them, like, out hunting at night, walking around, but I've never heard a sound like that before in my life. And so it sounds like this wounded animal, and like a bird. So I can now tell you that is what the fox says. Something that sounds like a dying waterfowl. At least a red fox. And I can even play it for you because I'm a horrible person. That is a red fox. That is what he sounds like. I apologize for the unexpected yowls. Done. I put it away. But that is what the fox says, folks. Okay, have I never been here? I have to have been here. Oh, wow, fiendish. All right, so right off the bat, okay, so this is Ravenhurst. Look at the walls. These are entirely redone. These are all bookcases and sides of bookcases and beautiful tables and allied walls with brass behind them. I mean, just gorgeous. All around gorgeous. But then we also have a nice rug, and we have cakes. And the way to make cakes prior to us having cakes, yeah, I don't know what the hell that was, the purpose of that was, but it's really interesting. Sorry. They sound like a painful, yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know why I would have missed this. But you can see in the olden days when we had to make cakes, we would make them creatively with items because we didn't have cakes. I still think that cakes, cookies, and pies are best when they're made like this. I've never seen anything like this. These are completely new to me. Like, that's got to be an upside down bowl. I'm not sure what's in the middle of it. These are the tops of the Drez canisters with apples in them. This is just amazing. I love the tops of the Redguard pots. It looks so good. A giant cake. This is just so cool. That looks like a creme brulee almost. Well, it looks like another bowl. So good. Oh yeah, I would eat a lot of these. These are amazing. That looks like a mousse. So lovely. I just adore this. Oh, look at what's on top of that one. It's the noble pocket lint. Actual gems, but it looks like a food. It's kind of amazing. And here's another trick that I've seen Fiendish do before, is putting painting sunken in so that they have this nice little inlay. Look gorgeous. Those are all the key replicas. That looks like another creme brulee. Amazing. Hey to this. Give me all the cookies and all of the cakes. I want them. Amazing. I like the candelabras. They look almost like Hanukkah cookies. Almost. They're pretty cool though. So this is a great house. I'm really inspired by this. We're going to be jumping around a lot, and I apologize for that, but I have a lot to cover. Greek fam, do you have anything? Does not look like it. No. Research has Fells Run Market. This might be his bakery, I'm not sure. I'm so tired. And I don't get enough sleep anymore. All right, load your boat. Here is the bakery. This is, in fact, Research Monkey's bakery. One of the more serious endeavors that he's taken on, because I don't think there's a single bunny in this house. Can you believe it? Sort of depressing in a way. But it's a market with a little place to eat upstairs, and it's lovely. I hope he enters this for his restaurant again. And here's the backyard. Things for sale. Veggies, fruit. A very serious build for him. And here's the second floors, which I super appreciate because I love this view. If you get this house, build something in the backyard that raises it up. Swank has Modern Makeover. I'm really glad that these people have all linked all of their homes into EHT, and I suggest that you do it too. Sharing your homes is one of the best ways to really enjoy housing and let others enjoy it too. So this has had closed off exits. I remember this house clearly. This is a redone kitchen, and I remember it because there's this mixer. Check out this mixer. Isn't that amazing? It's a Dres canister, and I forget which one of the gods this is that has this look, but it really does look like the body of a mixer. And I started seeing that a lot more after this particular house was released, and I don't know if that was just pure luck or if they all got it from her. I have no idea. Stendar, thank you. Stendar's Mixie Mercy. So this is a cobbled bed. And here's another fish tank that she's done with EHT, and I just adore her fish tanks. And check out this amazing sink, right? That's gorgeous. Using the statue as the spout. It's a really fancy spout. And here's another way to make water with the Daedric bowls. They already have water in them. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this house because of the fact that we've seen it before, but it's really pretty phenomenal. In Zendira, Clue Murder Mystery. I think this is the main house for her Clue game. And so I've seen it before too. We'll go real quick. It's heavy on the EHT, and I think it's more of a service house in the sense that it runs the game, less of a pretty house, more of a this is where we run the Clue game house. Hello, Garish. So wait a moment for everything to load up. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of text. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, like victim. Now, remember we were doing 3D paintings. Almost everything that was done before the last update has been ruined when it comes to pets or mounts. So you have to go back to your houses and fix them. In the sense that, like, all of those have been rotated poorly by the game itself. So nothing looks quite right. And so it sort of ruins her goal here of trying to make a pretty painting that's interesting, right? So we've seen this house before. And we've got a grapevine here, grape arbor. And there you go. And for dirt, she's just using the ground itself, but she's sectioned it off so that it actually looks like dirt. There's no effects here or anything. So that's an interesting way of doing it. Let me go to Felina Prima's. So we'll go to Udang. Now, Felina Prima, if she's still up, is the featured builder of the month for Housing's Finest. And I was starting to go through her homes, and then I kind of flaked. I'm not really sure why at finishing them, so I'm going to go back and show you the rest. Or at least, you know, some of them. I'm jumping around. I said I would. I apologize. It's just how I roll. Okay, so I can't remember which I've done of hers. I don't think I've done her Velothi. You know what? I'm going to double check. I don't want to make a mistake. Because, you know, wouldn't be the first time. Alright, I did her Humble Mud, her Cold Harbor, and her Domus. So let's start with Snug. Nice small one. I don't know, Felina. I need to get to know more of my guildies. So, I'm not sure what's going. Is that an animal or just a... Huh. This is one of those houses that you can build right out of the ground because the ground is leather with surrounded by dirt, so you really don't have to do sort of like a potting job or something. Oh, it was. Oh, that's really nice. What a good divider idea. It's quite lovely. Sticking plants in pots, the other way to go. Makes it look more natural. These must have been hand placed or maybe EHT, I'm not sure. Now we have this gorgeous little gardening area up top. Now, what she's done about dirt is she's just used granite. You can also use, and I think what works best in my experience is using mossy rocks, which granite works fine too if you do what she's done here, which is put a lot of ground cover over it. So it looks more realistic. So, Felina, thank you. You've given me an example of the very thing that I wanted to talk about. And it looks like there's a third floor. And here we go. It's a nice little seat. Snugpod is deceptively bigger than it looks. This is really lovely. So, there's your dirt ideas. The next dirt idea I want to show you is my ample. This one is an old house of mine, and the reason why it's not very good, and the reason why I say that is because it's, hold on. I tried a technique that I don't think works great for dirt, but I've since improved my skills, so I think I could fix it if I wanted to, but I haven't. So for dirt here, what I've used is carpeting. You can see it's that gray, I think it's the ashen carpet that you can get. I forget the name of it, but it does work. It can look a little odd. Now, what I suggest you do is cover a lot of it with ivy. If you're going to go the carpet route, use ivy. And then what I should have done here is this is actually hedges sunken into the ground. I could have used more hedges and covered it better. I was trying to cover all this odd looking rock it's like tiles in the middle of the backyard. It just looks bizarre. So this was one of my early attempts, and I didn't sink it low enough, so it's hard to walk on, but these are in fact hedges, as you can see, sunken into the ground. See? And then I did have carpeting under everything to sort of add to the dirt look, but this edge is too obvious, and if I were smart, I'd come back and cover it better. But I'm not smart. I'm a dummy. This might actually really work in here. I found this yesterday. This is one of those antiquities. There we go. Yes, they do. Eula's right. That looks good there. I like that. So that's another option, using the carpets. I think it looks good. And hedges together. Makes it a very thick looking, see, I mean, this is such an odd house because it's got tiles in the middle of a yard. You really need to cover it if you want to go gardening. So that's kind of my advice there. All right. Also wanted to show you guys, in DDA, we were talking about the 3D paintings. DDA ran a contest as like a quickie yesterday, and I'll show you one of some of the entries that we had, and they're really good. And the reason why I want to show you is because I heard some people really bash on themselves yesterday about it, and I really don't think it was warranted, because I think everyone in that contest did a really amazing job, and so I want to tell them what I thought they did really good. It just bugs me that we beat ourselves up so much. I do it too, but I think it's we shouldn't end up feeling bad about what we come up with, because there's something special. And I'm not just saying this like, oh, you're all so unique, you're a simple, special person each. We're only looking at the paintings, by the way. So this is Calyrax. I fucking love this. And Calyrax was beating themselves up, saying that they didn't do a good job. This is amazing. The reasons why this is amazing is because, first of all, birds flying out at you. That is so creative. I didn't see anyone else have like that kind of movement, actions shot. This was the only person who had movement really like that. And secondly, they had to have a second photo painting and put it on an angle in order to properly hide the rest of the geese, because the geese are in sets of 2. So that was difficult, and it actually makes the painting pop even more. And I think that the touch of the greenery and stuff underneath was really good. Honestly, Calyrax, you really shouldn't beat yourself up. This is fabulous, and I really hope you believe me on this, because it's the truth. I've shown Zendira's and my own. I gotta show you researches, because they're crazy. Typical research amazement. I said I'm all over the place today, and I meant it. This is because this is how my brain works. Don't ask me why. Aww. Well, when they're on more, I'll say so. Yeah, I mean, people were just... It was a really hard channel to listen to last night, because as people were looking at others' work, I think a lot of people felt worse and worse about their own. I know I did. And when my husband got home, I told him I just felt so bad about it. And I think this was one of the ones that really did me in terms of my pride. Oh, it doesn't matter. You're probably fine and just don't realize it. It's all about practice. So this is one of the ones that got me, that made me feel terrible about my abilities. So this is a gryphon, obviously, in a painting with the trees added as a pop, 3D, and then you have the meat that's sitting there, because griffins eat faces. I thought this one was fantastic. And then the fire elements of this one. Isn't that amazing? That one blew my mind. We've got a kitty with the greenery. We've got a couple of that going on. And then we have a smoke painting with a dragon in front of it. I think the smoke is a nice touch. Here we have mushrooms coming out, a dodo, and we have a fountain. It looks just like the waterfall coming out of it. This is bunny one is another great one. Actually, this is another action shot. I didn't realize it. Yeah, it's super cool. And I think that this one is the one that broke me, because I had this same painting with this goldenrod coming out, but it never occurred to me to put the blue in there as well, or the butterfly. Now I feel dumb. That's when I started feeling bad about myself. But I do want to point something out to you. You see those? See those lamps? Those are clockwork lamps. Don't they look perfect with paintings? Keep that in mind for when you're doing your antiquity work, that this is an excellent way of museum lighting your own homes, paintings in your own homes. It's a really good trick for wanting to do Yeah, we shouldn't though. We should really work on feeling better about ourselves because everybody's different. And honestly, like my stuff was good. It was just different. Um, Everybody's got something a little different. Yeah, it really makes it look more like. Okay, now this is the one that I think is probably going to win. And this is the one that made me kind of feel the worst because it was so good that I was just like, oh, I never could have come up with this. But the reality is my husband pointed something out to me. He said, Karen, of all of them, yours was the only one with a sense of humor. And I thought about it, and he's right. So I had an element that was different from everyone else's. And, you know, it seems like everybody had a little bit of something that was unique to them. And it's something that I need to remember is that it's not apples to apples, it's apples to oranges. Like each person is presenting something completely different from their own brains. But here's the ladybugs that I think is going to win. It's really just astounding. It never occurred to me to do something like this. But isn't that phenomenal? I did intend to use a waterfall, but it would not have looked like this. This is much better than anything that I had come up with to use the waterfall with. So I think this one is really a stunner. Chrysea's Rosy Lion. Isn't it wonderful? Now, here's what I'm talking about with... Yeah, isn't it though? Here's what I'm talking about each of us being unique and bringing something different to the contest. So here you have something very organic, right? You know Chrysea's style. She cobbles the shit out of everything, right? We went from somebody having a sense of humor, which is me, or somebody else having just an eye for color and design, and then somebody else having an eye for creative different things or movement or whatever. But here's Chrysea's. Look, it's entirely different. We all bring something different to building. Crysea went in the totally different direction than everyone else. She built a house. She's got bowls here. She's got pens here. She's got all sorts of cool stuff sticking out, making an amazing house. It's completely different. I love it. I love the fact that we're all bringing something else here. And I hope that, thanks, Rad. I hope that that really gets to you. I hope you see this and it sinks in. That even if you're a beginner, you're going to bring something else to this show. Third Girl did something completely different. It was amazing. I hope she's not mad I'm showing this off. But she did in A Hunter's Glade. It never occurred to me to do what she did. It was a very dark picture that had elements of it that just never occurred to me. So again, we're talking about a different take on things. She used a skull in hers and a knife. Brilliant. I never would have thought to use those props, but they're great. They really work. Check it out. I'll take you there. These ideas are brilliant. And the new paintings are wonderful. Really. Check it out. Is that not amazing? So that's a skull added in there. That's a real candle, a real book, a real knife. You've got all the pets. You've got a kitty, haunted kitty, crystals and lights. That's amazing to me. That is an amazing and totally different apples to oranges from what Crysea did or what Ladybug did. It's a dark and interesting painting. I love it. I love what she's done here. Fantastic. The reason why I say I think Ladybug is going to win is the sheer wow factor, or the initial wow factor, is what I think that Ladybug has going for her. Demifier or linchal on the left. Okay, I don't remember what Demifiers was. That's just because I have no memory. But I do remember the paintings, I just don't remember whose was whose. I hope this is a... Whoa, I didn't even notice there was a knife just hanging there. Somebody's really trying to throw a butcher knife at me. Yeah, so what I hadn't thought of... Oh, I think I know which one this is. This one reminded me of a museum installation. You know when you go to those anthropological museums that have, like, there's a painting in the background and they put the little fake bushes in front, and then they have all the people acting out different, you know, like a hunter and, you know, an aborigine or a, you know, ancient person. This is what this reminds me of. Like one of those little museum installations. If this is the one I'm thinking of, it is. Yes. Doesn't this look like a museum installation to you? It totally does to me. Again, completely and utterly different from what other people did. They've got the paintings as backdrop. And this looks to me like a legit museum installation. This is amazing. Completely different. And in fact, we have some dirt here that, you know, you're using the hedges, the snow. This actually, is this just rock? No, this is something I was looking for. These no, that's rock, okay. They didn't use the beds. Damn it, I was trying to show you guys the beds, but I'll get to that on my own. But here you go, museum installation type. Completely different, and I love that. I love that we're all different. Miss Tickle, Golden Griffin. Oh, come on, computer. I hope none of these people are mad at me. But what I was trying to do here is, yesterday, I just wanted to tell everybody how special theirs was. And I couldn't. Because as I was trying to talk in chat, I could hear the mood was just drowning and people started beating on themselves. I couldn't tell them, look, listen to me. This is good. This is why. This is, you know, I couldn't tell them. So I was frustrated and I really wanted to do this today so that I could tell people how they're special, different, and it's not bullshit. It's 100% genuine. Oh, I love this because this had a little step up too. But we've got Miss Tickle here. Now, she's the only one who used this firefly like that. And it's got this beautiful little arch underneath pulling through. And I love this because she's also got like a perspective going on. Because that statue's small, the trees are small. But it's in perspective to the rest of the painting. Do you see what I mean? Like it's... This, if you were trying to stand next to this in real life, it'd be teeny, right? It's just a sapling. But when you look at it from afar, in the context of the painting, those are huge trees with a giant statue next to it. It's not a couple inches tall, it's feet tall. So I think her perspective has probably beat everyone else's perspective thus far. Completely different. And I really love it. And I think she did a good job on that. And I think it's beautiful. I wish that I had, I don't know. I'm going to skip Findar because I don't think Findar likes me showing their homes. So I wish I had permission for that, but I don't. So I'm not going to take that chance. But Jay is and Jelly is new. And he watches us. I think it's a he. He's one of the taters. And I think they were very nervous about this entry, and when I went and I saw it, I was like, you shouldn't be nervous. This is great. It, too, was very unique. I saw something wonderful and different in every single painting, and I was, like, noting it to myself. Look, this is different, or this is different. And I was really impressed, and I want people to feel better. I want me to feel better. Oh, okay, this is the cool one. So, this is a cool one. One of the things that I noticed, not only does he have a little home with smoke coming out of it, doesn't that look adorable? But they figured out how to use the sea monster. My sea monster, I can't figure out how to use it. It just doesn't work. And I think, look at the lighting underneath, okay? That's a little car or a little cart with the perfect lighting on the wheels. Isn't that amazing? And you see the cart going off in the distance on the road, and then here's the sea monster coming to attack. I love it. It's so cute. It tells a story that I think it tells a story that's the others don't tell. So I guess yet again we have something different, a storyline. You know, what's going to happen with this cart? Is this cart going to this house? Do they live there? Are they leaving? Are they coming home? What's going on? And then I'll just show you mine real quick as a reminder. Here's the thing. I thought we could only enter one painting, but when I got to researches and I realized they entered a whole bunch, I took my gates down, and a bunch of the other paintings that I had made yesterday or prior are now for view, so we can take a quick look at them and take them in the context of these are all entries. But initially, my Gazabi painting was going to be the only entry. But we get inside. I found that yesterday. I was pleased. This originally was going to be my only painting. And like I said, this is different because it has a sense of humor. I don't think the other paintings had as much of a sense of humor. So this cracks me up. I love it. Then I've got this one, which is a perspective thing going on here with the bears. This is what I was talking about with the goldenrod coming out, but I didn't put it in anything else. Here's my sea monster that doesn't look right. Here's the blood one, which I love. Here's the bat vampire one. If it didn't disappear on me. There you go. I don't know what he's doing over there. Bat. And that's that. That's what we've got here. And I'm happy with it. I feel like it's... let me put this down here. Pleasing. This house is not done, obviously. I'm working on it. But those are my entries. Okay, so let's move along to another show. I was gonna do dirt. Here we go. Okay. This house that I'm about to show you is amazing on its own, in its own right. In the sense that it's, when you see what happens at the end of the house, you'll be in shock. Now, Snow Fairy Wings, I should have put her as one of my favorite builders ever, and I think I might in a future episode, has used a technique that's a little flashier, I think, than the average dirt use, but it works in the context that she's doing it. There's almost a magical look to what she uses. Okay. This is truly a spectacular build. Now she uses these hedges to direct people in, but this is not the portion I'm talking about. I love Snow. She's a good person. Alright, so here we come upon the plants. Here we are. We've got water, but the plants have this green crystal that they're embedded in. Now, with the glowy plants alongside and all of the glowy pets and the water, I think we see something here that normally might look a little strange, but the way she's used it is perfection. So keep that in mind, that these crystals from Vivek City could also possibly be dirt, depending on how magic-y your house looks. And this is the payoff for this house. Isn't that tremendous? It's really beautiful. I think she's covered those rocks with hedges. I think that we're seeing hedges there. There's also a gryphon up there in one of the trees. Just beautiful. I hope you get a chance to take a quick look, because I know some of you are at work, but if you get a chance, it's truly stunning. Okay. I'm going to show you another one of mine real quick for the just a quick example of another tool you can use. Sometimes you can use really odd things as dirt. One of the odd things I'm using in my Dawn Shadow, which is a farm, is I'm using bladders. I'm using Bosmer bladders flipped upside down. The reason why I use those is to represent a little mound of dirt. You know, when you first plant something, you sometimes have a little mound around the plant itself. Well, that's what I was going for with this. So as you can see, there's a little mound here. It is beautiful, isn't it? So they do look like exactly what they are, which is bladders. But if you kind of step away, you can get away with it. Those definitely look like mounds or like newly planted stuff or whatever. This is probably one of the most common tricks and that people use nowadays, and this is the one that I'm going to recommend you usually use. Either this from clockwork turned upside down so you only see the dirt, or the rubble from elsewhere flipped upside down so you only see the dirt on the bottom, not the rubble portion. This is how most people cover up the ground these days if they want to plant plants. Now, what's under here? Check it out. There's underneath the dirt, there's just stone. So it's like doesn't look right. It doesn't look like an actual garden or farm. And I think that in order to fake it, this is one of the best tools you can use, is this fake dirt. Really, really nice trick. Now, we're not talking EHT here, because EHT has a whole other set of things you could do. But this dirt is the main trick that the average builder uses these days. It's a good go-to. It works. It's solid. My jaw is killing me. All right, let's look at another round of other things. So we were up to Ravenhurst, so let's do Gardner. Gardner. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, we've got Danielder? No. Fiendish. The apartment. Gardner House. Gardner's in Wayrest. I'm getting spammed by something. Yes, there were gryphons everywhere. And not a drop to drink. I agree with you. Yeah, but those are the solid options, is to flip the dirt upside down, and they really truly look like dirt. So this is another Flimtooth in the sense, Flimtooth, listen to me because I see your name, Fiendish, with the beautiful background of dark hardwoods and the lovely inset paintings and everything. Flim, damn it, I keep doing it. Fiendish has a style of her own above this fireplace, which involves a lot of cobbling. No, I don't want to go there. Really beautiful, elegant, high-end cobbling. Really, I mean, I love it. This is not easy stuff to do. So nice. And that's a stove. I swear to God, you alone fiendish. Must be paying the entire Eleanor community for all of their mats to make all of this Eleanor furniture. What is it called? Jesus, I can't remember the name of the mat. But you must be poor for it. I love it. Alright, so let's watch something. Now for something completely different. No Greek vamp. Calandas. Calandas? Oh, okay. That wouldn't surprise me. Research. Wayrest Automations. It is super nice. It's stunning. And, you know, like much of the people, the bookcases were in bulk. Oh my gosh. That's lucky. Okay. This is so completely different from what we just saw. This is Research Monkey, again, with the museum tags. So this is like a clockwork museum. This is a great way to display some of your antiquities. You can put them in a flipped backwards painting. Now the way that he's done it here, it's actually 2 paintings. Because otherwise the frame wouldn't look right. So he puts one frame facing forward so you get the actual frame. And then he has another one facing inward so that you see the back of the painting, which looks like a blank canvas. Then he sticks the item up here and then one of these plates underneath. So that's how you make a blank canvas with a proper looking frame. Otherwise the frame looks really odd. So that's how you do that. But this is, oh wow, look at that wheelchair. I think it's a wheelchair. Or it might not be, actually. It's almost like a chariot. And then I just love these little objects. They're almost like shadow boxes, right? For each item. Whenever I see ideas that are good for museums, I've been trying to point them out to you folks. Wow, look at this construction. This is crazy. But I will point out, not a single bunny. This was pre-bunny. Very sad. Here's a coal bin. That is perhaps the first coal bin I've seen. Alright, let's go in the courtyard. And then the courtyard is just palanquin waiting. We've got a little water machine here. And what is this other than, wow, this is wild. Now, I've never seen anyone build up this high outside of in Gardner. Oh, that must be a balloon. This might be a balloon ride, you know? It's crazy. I've never seen a vehicle like this. This is crazy good. And I love the view of Wayrest. Fantastic. Something different every time. No swankery. Here's a Zendaya Crafting House. I think this has some of her 3D paintings in it, but the paintings unfortunately got screwed up with the update. The song is so stuck in my head. Okay, here we are. So this one is more of a traditional style house. But again, she's got one of her amazing televisions. We saw one of these in another one of her homes. And look at that lamp. I don't think I've ever seen a lamp like that before. That's crazy good. That's a nice cobble. Here's the television set. Again, the buttons are candles, the square candles. She's got books underneath. This is just, I think it's a Red Guard wine rack. Again, using a wine rack, we've got an even taller even taller clock. Using the wrong words again. His kitchen. Wonder if that's one of the new ones. That looks like one of the new ones, doesn't it? Stabbed in the heart? Oh no, what is going on here? This is horrible. And then in the backyard, we have all sorts of fun stuff. Really pretty, lovely backyard. And then we go downstairs and we have the crafting room. This is indeed the crafting. Oh, here's some good ideas. Here is fire as a painting. This is one of Xandira's. I think she's the first I've ever seen do this. So his staff is flaming, a 3D painting. Got all of this stuff. And then she's got this 3D painting has got the blob in it. And a dream shard or two in the braziers. Then over here we have this wall art she made with butterfly bushes and crystals and all sorts of stuff on a blank canvas. Oops, I'm trying to go, but it's a little laggy. Okay, this one I really like. This is using a pet and a blue Daedric lantern, but doesn't it look, because of the size of the pet, like there's literally something standing next to them? And then this one is a dragon attack, or a cliff strider attack, really. And like I said, Xandira is one of the innovators of this idea. I have never seen this idea carried out before her. So she really did that. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, the next thing I wanted to show you is another dirt thing, and it's quick. It means that I'm gonna have to buy a couple of things to show you, make a couple of others. That's fine. Okay, now this isn't really a dirt, but what I'm trying to, or plants, but what I'm trying to point out to you is that kelp, which is really cheap, you can buy it in large quantities for very cheap, makes a really nice thick greenery if you stack them. So this could be, even without effects, this could be like the basis of one of your planters or something. Just even the whole ground could look like this, and it just looks like greenery. It doesn't look like it has to be kelp. And kelp, like I said, is super cheap. So that's another idea. We're gonna go quickly to one of my other houses, and I'm gonna make a couple of things. Wow, Zarin is posting a ton of pictures of their Proudspire, and it's impressive. All right, so what I'm going to make requires cloth. It's going to be impossible to get rid of these things later. Nobody buys these. I might give them away. Cooking fire. No. We want enchanting table, I think. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. We're going to head on over to Grand Topo where they have a lot of plants. Okay, so here we have lots of plants. What I'm going to do is use this as a stand or a staging area, and then we're going to put, these all look better when you have them put in with something around them, like a potting area or something. But these are all options that, these are the orcish beddings. Good morning, Shutterbug. Orcish beds, Bosmer beds are both commonly used dirt sources. Now, again, these aren't necessarily my first choice, but they do work, and I've seen a lot of people use them. Also, the divider looks a lot like dirt, if you want that color dirt. And then finally, some people are do sand gardens. So like they'll have rock gardens with cacti or whatever coming out of them. And then for that, the meditation stuff looks really good. And plus you can stack things so you don't, while you see this can even be dirt, honestly, but while you see the sand, you don't necessarily see that it's has circles like that. So it's really kind of easy to use it as a base and then really thickly fill things so that it just doesn't look bad. There. See? You can't really tell, but you see dirt, or, you know, depending on how you fill it. Now, one of the other things that I've been told, I've never quite tried it, was, I mean, I tried it, but it never quite worked for me, but I know people who do it, is the mossy trees, supposedly, when you sink them down, look like grass. So they could probably be a fill-in for, what would you call it? Gnarled? No. We'll use one because I don't think, oh, here it is, mossy mercmile. They could be fill-in for hedges if you would rather use that. See, if you put this tree down even lower, which I did not do, you can see how that could look like filler. You could just stick that in a pot, like one of those Redgar pots, and it would fill it out. So I hope those are some good ideas. There's definitely EHT ways to do all of these. The last thing that I don't have any of, I don't think, is Pax mushrooms. I've seen people use Pax mushrooms as... No, I don't have it. But I'll show you where to get them. St. Delyn's Penthouse. So these are some options. Here's my suggestion. Just don't leave it so that trees and plants are just coming out of solid rock. Not solid floor is really what I mean. No tiles, no stuff like that. It just looks weird. Just sticking a tree coming out of the middle of Eleanor-y townhouse or something doesn't work. Here's another example of using that dirt that we were talking about, which is just this from Clockwork, flipped upside down. All right. Now, if you want to get the Pax mushrooms, first of all, you turn off your effects because you're a moron like me. I know this is not perhaps the most exciting of topics, but we're almost done with it. I just like to help. People maybe don't recognize all of these options, so. It's tricksy building. It's how we do it. This is also where you get the crystal. The green crystal. So you've got, this is what Snow Fairy Wings used, is this glass crystal flipped upside down. See? So you could buy that here and use that as your dirt. But really what I think works phenomenally is, I think they're here, the flat packs. Oh, they might be in Dishon. But we'll just use a milk cap, for example. The Pax is the kind of browner one, and so you can like sink it into the ground and you've got ground cover. This one is more red, but the Pax is really the right color. And then you sink them into the ground, which they're kind of flat anyway, and they look like dirt. So I always mix up this one and the Dishon ones. If I can figure out how to get there. Come on. Move it, Gwar. Move it or lose it. Gwar feet. What am I doing? Here we go.
You could buy.
Oh, I give up. I don't remember where it is. Pax mushroom. Just know it's a Pax mushroom and one of the selling places sell them. My bad. Sorry. Apologies. I suck. Let's look at another round of good houses. We'll do... What's the next one? We were up to Gardner. Kragenhomes. You've seen my Kragenhome a million times. So I'm not going to bother with showing you that of mine. But we're going to go through and find Danielder's, and all of the rest. Danielder's Kragenhome. Does she have one? No. Greek Vamp, Fiendish, then Greek Vamp. Fiendish has Taken Back. Mine's a fairy garden. It's just tons and tons of flowers with the moon temple pool in the middle of it. Volkwesten. Okay, thank you, Eula. Thank you for looking that up. I could Google it, but not in the middle of a stream. I don't usually do that. Okay. Oh, goodness. How beautiful. This is Kragenhome of all things, if you believe it. Kragenhome does not usually look like this. So this has been completely reskinned with elsewhere stuff. And then the ground has that rubble, I think, or some rubble, but facing up, which works here because we're trying to have a rocky area. This is lovely, isn't it? Kragenhome's a small house, so this is beautiful. And I think it's a lovely rendition. Greek Vamp, no. Research Monkey. Research has something in like every house. I don't know how he fills them all up. He's got to run out of houses eventually. Dark Brotherhood Hall. I'm trying to think of what other things I can show you that are tricksy. So Dark Brotherhood Hall. I mean, it's a Dark Brotherhood Hall. I mean, all the blood vials, numismas trapped. Ferrari is selling or stealing or doing something horrible. So, Swankery, did you do one? The G spot. Oh goodness, this might be rated R. I think this is her nightclub. So, gardens, fairy gardens, nightclub, Dark Brotherhood home. It's crazy, the variety. Ah yes, this is her nightclub. A lot going on in here. Aha, she has added the light. You see what I see? She took the azure plasm light and she buried it somewhere so that's what you're seeing here. It's like this light that looks like you're underwater. It's the azure plasm light that is for sale this weekend. So if you want to use that option, make sure you buy some. And then this is her DJ table, which I love. And that's all affects those swirly things, but everything else is handmade. And those lasers are also effects, see? You can see it without it. It does add something. I mean, it is supposed to be a nightclub. And this is like a screen behind the seed. That looks really good. I like this a lot. That's an interesting lamp. Okay, that's where she put the That's where she put the azure plasm, but it has a whole bunch of sides coming out of it. That's a dangerous lamp if that falls on you. The Booty Dive. Oh goodness, we have 2 nightclubs in Kragenhome. I guess it does fit with the size of it, you know? Come on. Load your boat. Yes. Okay, so we have a pool table. And also effects. Lasers. Patrons. If you've ever worked in a bar or something like it, like a cafe, this floor will seem very familiar to you because that is what you have. You have these like thick rubber grating looking things underneath. So there's stuff going on here. We'll just pretend like we don't know that there's naughtiness going on. And then the smoke is hand done. So this is really good. I think the last one is Velothi Reverie. I doubt a lot of people have done one, but we'll try, we'll call it after those. But Zendira? I don't think you did one, did you? We'll start backwards. I don't even own this home. I don't like how dark it is, and I don't know what to do with it. It's got one of those yards in the back of it. I hate that. I would rather the yard be in the front of every home. The yard in the back just kind of ruins it for me. Okay. This is Zendira's Velothi. Not sure. It looks like it's either a crafting house or a very simplistic, like early on, maybe not finished. Can't tell. No, it's furnished. It's not that simple. Okay. Seems like a standard home. What'd she put in her yard? Traditional home. Traditional, what you call it? No swanks. Research monkey. Oh, Dr. Frankenbunny is rated X. But I will show it to you, despite the fact that I shouldn't. This is, yet again, a Research Monkey bunny build. A twisted one. Which many of them are. I think it, like Research, if I had an idea that could work in this home, like this is a dark idea. Frankenstein is a dark idea. It would work perfectly in a Frankenstein, in a dark Velothi house. So this kind of works for me. Crystals and crafting and more crafting. I think it's in the basement, so we'll go there last. Some sort of fire. Oh no, fire and destruction. What's going on? The whole house is going to burn down. That's terrible. Scary. And this must be a changing room. Romance. Love. And then we get to the basement, where there's science. All of the science going on. See it? Lots and lots of science. I mean, it's obviously science, right? And that's Dr. Frankenbunny. And this is what he's making. A rated X creature, I would say. It's just so twisted and wrong. I don't even have the words for how wrong that is. Moving right along. So wrong. I wish I had thought of that bunny trick. He's so good at the bunny ideas. They're cute and yet twisted. So Greek Vamp clearly wants us to go in the backyard and isn't messing around with the rest of the house, which I respect greatly. Do not care for it. Oh, this might be the tree house. This is Greek Vamp's tree house. See it? Isn't that phenomenal? It's built in a mangrove tree. I love it. Up we go. You can go into the tree house. And then you gotta do the things little kids do. They have to hop up, right? And then this is the interior of the tree house. Isn't this just like so cute? You've got a window with a painting in it. Looks like a great window. Maybe I'll do windows next. Just amazing. It's just a super cool, I really want to live in it treehouse. Isn't that great? That's the Pax mushroom. This is one of the Pax mushrooms that you could use as dirt. See it? Looks very dirt, doesn't it? Love it. Fiendish. Public library. Surprised so many of you have homes and stuff in Velothi Reverie. I mean, it just isn't a pleasing home, but I probably would do what Greek Vamp did and just direct to the backyard, because I hate the house itself. Oh, this is very decorated. Fiendish went with a lush. It's not lush, that's the wrong word. Elegant. This really does look like a library, a well-done library with a little bit of a museum aspect to it. $400 out of 400 items. No effects. Gosh, can you almost smell it? Doesn't it smell like a library? You're just looking at it and it just smells like a library. And Tithys looks like a librarian. Closed off. Not closed. Okay, this is storage and Fazez. Well hidden. And then this is just closed off because otherwise you don't have enough slots. And then I wonder if she closed off the yard or not. Nope, the yard is the thing. Oh, this is nice. Imagine your library actually having this, that you could come in the backyard and just sit and read. Oof, that would be wonderful. Well, if Danielle doesn't have one, we're done. we are done. Alright, so I'm going to call it, and I will see you all tomorrow, and I'm going to try to talk tomorrow about Windows, I think. So I will catch you all later. Bye.